welcome back to the channel. We're taking a bit of a walk up in Knockolt through the woods to have a look at something that has been hidden away, and we found it once before, but we've got to try and find it again, and it is really foggy and misty up here on the hills. And I've got a feeling I've got to walk down this way here, but I'm not too sure, so I'm going to go out this way for a bit, because it's amazing how different things are looking in the mist. But doing a bit of a change just so it's not all the same, because we were doing a series on the River Darrant from the source on the Screws Estate in Westerham all the way through all the towns that have thrived along its banks. And you know, I don't want it just to be sort of videos of a river, so we're doing another one today to break them up. But if you do like those, let us know in the comments. Oh, duck down through here. I remember coming this way, so I think we're all right. There's more coming. I've already started. Got quite a bit of the film of episode 3, which is now moving through the towns and villages as it goes forward. A lot of history and a lot of sort of hidden away places and abandoned places and ruins, so that should be quite a good one. But I don't want it, like I say, just to be river videos all the way through. We're going to definitely going to start getting out in the Land Rover and covering a bit more ground, going further afield into Kent, into Sussex and further. I've got a lot planned with Somerset and Dorset, and I would like to get down to Cornwall, perhaps up to the Wales, but especially Cornwall would be the one I'd want to get down to. But yeah, want to keep the Land Rover out and then plan that as we go. But we're going to carry on here because it's a bit hard to walk, talk, video while we're looking for what we're looking for, which is hidden away in here somewhere. And it's really dense foliage, trees, and I'm not quite sure. I think the path still goes forward, so we'll carry on. So we're in Knockolt. Now this barbed wire fence, I think, denotes the boundary of the Chevening estate. Chevening House is the home of, well, it's the home residence of any given Home Secretary, and its history dates right back, I think, to William Pitt. I think it's Chatham, Lord Chatham, his title was, and because I think there's a path up here, Chatham Ride, and that is kind of now going to tie in with what we're looking at here, what we're trying to find, because I think in the days before these boundaries were put in, this was indeed possibly part of the Chevening estate, stretching right down into Knockolt village itself. But it's quite overgrown in here, so we've got to keep sort of eyes peeled as we walk and film. Well, I've still not found what we're looking for, but just gazed over here, but I know this isn't what we're looking for. But you see these old buildings, and the brickwork looks substantially old, but I can see that it's on a concrete base, which leads me to believe it's wartime. So the MOD used a lot of the achievement ground up here. It might have even been a security outpost to keep an eye on this perimeter fence that we're by in the woodlands here. Well, it is really thick in here. The trouble with the paths, they all look different each time you come through here, because we're not on actually any of the main paths. They go around us. We've sort of cut through the middle, but we're about, say, 50 yards or more to that last brick building, so which gives me an indication that it can't be too far, because if what we're looking for was part of the original Cheeving estate, it can't be far from round here. But we'll keep searching. Come on, you gotta find it for us. What do you think it is? You found it the first time, I didn't. Right, you gonna find it? Come on, find it this way. Is it this way? You're not sure now? Well, you showed me it. I think he's onto something. Here we are. This is what I can only presume is a very old outdoor swimming area, swimming pool, with the brickwork on the sides, and it goes right under this rhododendron, and you can see a shelf there for a more shallow end, and in the sides we'll go around and have a look, but we're going to have to walk round to it because I can't cross this. I don't know if I could get stuck in that, but there's this lovely ornate building. So I've just seen this old railing, which really sort of dates it, obviously to stop people falling in, and I imagine it would have once upon a time. Might be a bit of it, there is, yeah, it's definitely an old railing, and we go through here, try not to, you can just see the railing there, but forgive the focus on the camera. But if I walk down through here, there's the sort of bowl end. It's a round curve, and here's a pipe. It's obviously a water feed, and the camera, sorry for the camera noise, autofocus, it goes down into there. I've just gone to retrieve my tripod, but if anyone comes through here, it's a real ankle twister. I looked online, I've tried to really see if there's anything to hand online about what this is or who used it, but I can't see anything. So we're at the far end, and just in there looks to be a series of holes. These run all the way along the entire length, so we're going to have to climb around this and get round to the other side. It's really dark in here. It's how dense all of this is, and I suppose it's darker because of the fog and the mist today. But it's really spooky place. You wouldn't, the way the trees have grown, you wouldn't want to. I don't think I would want to spend a night in here. Some of you might. Let us know if you would camp out here. But here is like a sluice, and it comes around in a circle and goes back. This end goes back towards where the pool is. But these look like little steps. They're like little brickwork step. Go careful. And there's this fantastic little drain doors. I bet this hasn't been opened for... Oh. Look at that. Wow. Lovely, something that's been here all this time. But I don't know what this would have been used for. I've got no information. There's more of those brick steps there, and there's another one. These little doors. But if anyone has got any idea on what this could have been, please put it in the comments. Now there's a concrete base there, and this is concrete behind the wall, presumably to retain the earth. There is more brickwork. Now I'm sort of looking about. It's brickwork. Oh crikey. Yeah, that goes down a long way. Don't even know how deep that is. What you found? What you found? He's on something. You found something? This is how we found this before. He went off on a... I don't think there's anything over there, but we'll have a quick look. So we're sort of standing in the pool now, and just old trees just growing right out the side of the front of the building. But you can see the brick wall beneath, and how this is definitely the shallow end, and the brickwork under there, just under that tree line, curves round, sort of bowl shaped again, like the opposite end. So this is definitely a kind of swimming pool, I think, with the way it could be filled and drained. We found. Nav, come here. So, the path out here is a bit narrow, but looking up, there's fascia, which is nicely shaped and fixed, on the front here. I presume this is the front because obviously this is the only entrance with these two windows, and the doorway, whether I can't tell whether there was a door fixed because there's no holes, but inside it's all this smooth tiled brick, enamelled brick. You can tell by the echo, and the roof joists up there, still remarkable condition, and the fact the roof hasn't caved in. Now I don't know who built this or what. I'm going to try and find out. Hopefully by the time I can get this video up, I'll put it in descriptions. But it's a concrete floor. No, it's not. Oh my word. It looks like the camera's picking that up. Out of the way, Daddy. Out of the way. Animals are filming. It's like this. Almost. I'm trying to see if there's any pattern to it, but underneath all this mud that's obviously blown in through build up of leaves over the years, there's this smooth, polished stone floor. Is it haunted? You seen the ghost? Where's the ghost? He thinks it's haunted. Probably is. But I don't know, with this type of bricks and the fact that the roof is still in this condition, what? There's something freaking you out, isn't there? Is it where I've been doing this with the floor? You really are acting strange. Nutty as it is, but what is it? Well, something's definitely he's not happy about in here. But well, they do say animals pick up things we can't, but no idea. I would love to know who actually used this. He is really getting freaked out. It's quite unnerving. I'll have to call him back. Good boy. So I would say you've got 3 meters in its depth, and I'd say possibly 6 meters. Yeah, I'd say that's about right in its length. So presumably changing rooms of some description. Why it needed to be so tall, do not know. There's certainly no evidence of choice in there, but strange. But there we go. I'd also say, by the looks of it, been some recent forestry work done in here to try and clear this area. But also I'm looking around for any more signs of any other part of the structures. We get quite near the top end, the far end of the shallow bit we walk into, and just keeping my eye out, make sure he doesn't run into someone. But you can see the lines. Try not to let the phone focus as she comes around here, the pole all the way up, curves here all the way back down this side, back down to the main building. Well, I have no idea at the moment, so I really hope that I can find some more. I know a few locals that know a lot. What you've got to bear in mind as well, we're in Knockolt, we're not far from Biggin Hill, and also just across the road, further down the hillside, well along the downs, because we're still on top of the North Downs here, is Fort Halstead. So this was heavily used by the MOD during both wars, and Fort Halstead had a Roman fort on it even before then. So the fact that that's Chevening House over there, the Chevening estate, quite possibly this is something to do with those families. Incredible to see how nature has just consumed it, but it really is a spooky looking place. So we're on the top. All of this over here, behind here, is Chevening. There's another brick structure, but this looks like a gated entrance. So I believe, in theory, because sometimes I'm not wrong on this, not that I'm any historian by any means, I just find it really interesting. This, again, same sort of brick, same sort of tiles. I think this is like an entrance to that pole, and there's signs all up there, although the footpath does go off through there. We'll perhaps take a look down there to see the Chevening boundary, but these are quite hefty, you know, entrance gates, and I could tell from roughly where I'm standing, if we were to have gone straight in, it might possibly, it's off to the right a little bit, but that's probably because of the way the drive went. But I would say this was a direction for the poles, and these walls, I shouldn't really trespass over this, because this is Chevening, but just for the interest of it, just to capture the architecture of the walls themselves. There's people been trampling through here, but we're not going to venture any further because it's private property. But I think this was something to do with all of that leading out, and down here somewhere would have been Lord Chatham's walk, no, Chatham's ride, where he obviously liked to ride his horses. So we'll have a venture round and see if we can peep down towards where the main house is of the Chevening estate. Well, we've just come from behind me where the swimming pool is, which is right over the far corner of the field there, and all of this now behind me here is the tip of the North Downs, and of course the Chevening estate. Well, all of this was part of the Chevening estate at one point, but it leads me to this little point which is I just thought worth coming up here to add to the video. We'll go through these kissing gates, but I'll put in what 3 words, because this is a really lovely spot to just come, and it's well worth. Today we can't see anything much, but you'll see, because the mist, it's just really made a problem with it. I don't tend to put what 3 words on places like the swimming pool that I found, although people know it's there. If everybody sort of knows where it is, they just get ruined, they just get full of rubbish. And that's, if you see on my video, tower in the wood, the actual tower is full of rubbish, graffiti, and you know, it's on private land, and it's just a shame that people ruin it for others, because eventually, because of that, these places either get demolished to stop encouraging it, or just, you know, fenced off, boarded up, and then it's lost for everyone to see. So I just think if people can respect them, then that's worth the thing. But this, you could come and have a walk your dogs. But this is a little cutout that they've done on the Chevening estate, and there's this spectacular, like a cathedral. What's this written here? Never spotted this before. Roland Oakley. No. I think it's just in memory of. Oh no, the authorised of walking guide for the Seven Oaks Society. It's a bit hard to read that because it's all covered in mud and soot. Not soot, mud and silt. But I'll try and zoom in, but right at the bottom there, this must have been part of Lord Chatham's ride. If it comes out, it will be a bonus, but right at the bottom there in the mist, you could just about make out Chevening House. It's you better look, Nevy. But yeah, the house is just down the bottom there of the Chevening estate. I say it is the Home Secretary's residence. I'm sure it's the Home Secretary, not the Foreign, but the Home Secretary's. And there's a history goes back all through the relevant Home Secretaries to the present day one, where they reside there as well. But as I say, that's why this estate is fenced off. Most estates obviously are, but I'd imagine it's probably more secure down the bottom here, so I wouldn't jump the fence trying to get a closer look, because I'm sure they see you before you see them. So we've arrived back at these gate structures, these walls, and with that, this was only going to be a short video because there's not much to see, but it's interesting to find it. I'm glad we did find it again. So clearly this is a different day. If you watched from the beginning and you saw the comments I put up straight away, but when I did that video a few days ago when it was really misty and foggy, this is just the storm we've recently had blowing over, coming to the end of it now. But I did some digging and some research and I found out what this place was, and it's absolutely intriguing. So we're going to search for the rest of it, the evidence of you know, the remains of what used to be here, and why that swimming pool stands where it stands. So James Vasseur was a silk merchant in London in the late 1800s, and all of this was the grounds of this house he built, but the locals called it an absolute monstrosity. The swimming pool, which is further off into the woods, was all part of that. I think he had 2 daughters and his wife, but up the road, I'll inlay it, was a picture taken of the house he built, and he originally purchased the what was known as Old Knockolt House, demolished it, and somewhere here he built this huge monstrosity of a house, absolutely huge, and it fell into disrepair. By the 1940s they pulled it down, and just as quickly as I started recording, I'm walking across and kicking up brick. So we're going to go and have a look, because I think there may be some remains of the old house in here. I mean, this is heaped up earth, which is obviously man-made. Apparently the gardens were absolutely spectacular, but I can only find 2 photographs of the building itself. But there's definitely a heaped pile of earth here. So there was a photo taken somewhere down in that field looking back up at the house, and I'm looking about, but obviously now it's just farms, you know, they've just been turned over to agriculture or just left, but once would have been a spectacular Victorian garden. And I'm trying to work out where that photo was taken, but just as I've come up this part, I found this. And here we have the section of wall, and I've seen this picture of this wall before. Now, there isn't much to go on. This looks like an exterior garden wall, perhaps running up to the house, because it's got tiled coping stones on top. So I would say this was entrance to the gardens, but it does confirm the position of that field being the gardens, that photograph, and that. It's all that pretty much remains, I can tell, but we'll have a look. It's cold here and it's wet. So I found this out after my last visit, the beginning of this video. I took some pictures of the little lynch gate there, and they had the just a bit of information on this being called Vasseurs Wood. So I thought, I wonder if that's any relevance, and that unlocked the whole thing. James Vasseur, silk merchant from London. There was somebody, I can't recall off mine, but I put it here as you read it, did a wonderful study, and that's when I knew this, I knew this was still here through his photographs. And he did a brief study on this and about the old Knockolt house. That's quite worth a read. I'll put a link to that in the description, because he deserves the credit. I've not found this. I stumbled across the swimming pool some time back with a dog by accident, never really knew what it was for. The beginning of the video I mentioned several times, I had no idea what that was, but then once found out about this house and a brief bit of its history, it was it completely unlocked it for me. And an eccentric guy like that to build what he built, apparently it was the tallest house in Kent in terms of its height, how high up we are here in Knockolt, but creepy really as well, because those Victorians, that place abandoned, must have been really eerie. I mean, there's a slight eeriness with the elms and things in this woodland, especially on cold, damp, windy, rainy, stormy days like this. You know, it really adds to the atmosphere. So there's a piece of old iron here, and get any boot under it. I don't really want to be picking up that heavy old piece of iron. Now, that to me looks like part, or possibly a gate, a runner. There is a piece of brickwork by this tree that's grown through the ground of an old patio, a mosaicked patio. It doesn't really come out on the camera too well, but more bricks everywhere, and no doubt they used the bricks to smash the bricks up and made some of these pathways. That's a woodland trust, the local Knockolt tree trust that's on there, now manage this woodland. So I'm going to just walk up here a minute, up another path, because these are paths I've not been down, and this is how you find things. And I'll just see if there's anything else, but I don't think there is, because that wall is the only mentioned parts of it, and I know the house wouldn't have come this far in. This would have been part of the landscape gardens, because this tree wouldn't have grown in the last half of the century since the house was demolished. I'll turn the camera around to show you that. Yeah, this tree has been here a while, so I don't think where obviously the local trust is doing tree management in here. That's who must have been piling up around by the swimming pool. But you still find bricks scattered all over the place. I mean, judging by the size of the house on those photographs, yeah, there would have been a lot of bricks to look around to make paths. Yeah, they've even scavenged some bricks to look for this log pile, but these bricks would have been part of that house. Extraordinary. Well, that's all I could find really. I think anything else is going to be so buried within the brush there, and we won't find anything more. It's winter now, so whatever's going to be revealed is revealed, but you know, this just goes to show, if you poke around, have a look, you'd be amazed what you find. And then when you really find out about something's history, it's not what it seems. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, because it was just a quick one to do. I thought it'd be a good video to do to break up the river series we're doing, but it's turned out to be quite a spooky, quite a interesting piece of local history here. And so on that one, till next time, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, it really helps us. We're a growing channel, and we can get out and do these things and make these videos which we enjoy, and hopefully people enjoy watching them. So till next time, cheers.